Hey guys, welcome to my tutorial on how to do SOS in Underworld Party. Um, as soon as you load in, you just want to summon your spirit to kill the skeleton, and sometimes if you try to kill the skeleton, a nightmare pops up, and sometimes an ATEX will follow as well. Um, so sometimes you can lose the ATEX, but sometimes you don't. So yeah, just kill it. And then let someone pull the skeleton and use your spirits to kill the skeleton. After the skeleton is dead, you wanna just wait until the LT is done. He's just waiting for bombs right now, and as soon as he's ready, he will be going in, and then he's gonna gather all the aggro, and you're gonna have to spike this whole group. Um, at the spike, you wanna try to have a strong destruction, so try to make sure that destruction is about to run out when you go in. So yeah, it's stronger. Um, there's no really a moment when you can cast this destruction spell. So you just have to do it on intuition, and yeah. After you've cast it, you want to select it. So if you activate Rupture Soul, um, you're like absolutely sure you target destruction, and you don't have to look for it. Okay, so right now I made a little mistake judging the timing on destruction, so I have to recast it. Okay, just make sure you select it again, and then yeah, you just run up and use the skill Summon Spirits, and then rub your soul on destruction. Not only is this a strong spike, but sometimes the group isn't dead by now, and they start attacking other things, and if you use rub your soul on them, they will be blinded. Um, so after that you want to kill this skeleton. But sometimes another group of ATEX will come down, as you can see on the radar. You want to make sure you don't get aggro, so remove your spirits before they come into range, like this. Otherwise you might get aggro and the ATEXs will follow all the way down. This will cause destruction again, and make some more spirits. And then you're gonna spike again, just make sure you have destruction targeted, and then just spike, killing this skeleton first. And after skeleton is dead, I'm gonna spike this group. Okay, so the skeleton is dead, just run up and yeah, spike. You see they're not dead at once, but they will be blinded, so they don't deal much damage. Okay, so after this spike you want to run back to where you came from, and after that we're gonna head for the labyrinth and pop the lab reaper. um, at this point you want to watch out for the back group, because sometimes a group of grasping darknesses and a nightmare will come from the back, and if they catch you while spiking the other group, it can become a bit messy, so you just want to make sure you take care of the back aggro first. Because while the LT is just gathering all the aggro, you just have to summon all your spirits and try to time your destruction again. Just remember it lasts for 30 seconds, and yeah. It's also really nice to know your LT. For example, right now he's waiting, and I didn't expect to do him that, so my destruction is gonna be a bit off. So yeah, just have to cast it again. It will not be as powerful, but it will be still good enough. Okay, so as a spike, you just want to run in and then do the same thing you did before. Oh, my mother called me, so I had to AFK for like 10 seconds. Okay, so usually there will be still Terror Riders around, and you have to kill those. but in this case they weren't, so yeah, we don't have to bother with them. Um, if you didn't kill the backgroup already, you want to watch out for it right now, because sometimes it comes a bit later. Okay. So now we're just gonna help kill the ATEXs. You see I'm using Rupture Soul again to blind the ATEX. Yeah, just kill those, and yeah, it's not that hard. Okay, so once everything's dead down here, you want to go back up and make sure the spirits are out of range. Um, so just run up the stairs and summon spirits. Um, the the reason why you want to make sure your spirits are out of range is that as soon as your spirits get aggro, you will get aggro, and when you get aggro, um, it's it's not good. Usually, it's either gonna take an extremely long time to recover, or in the worst case, it's gonna be a fail. So just make sure you don't get aggro. So what I like to do is just wait here, and when the LT is coming back, I just use all my spirit skills, except for destruction. Okay, so now we just wait until the path is clear, and then we go to the other side. Okay, so once we're around here, the LT should be moving up, and you should cast destruction and select its target, and then it's the same thing again. Just use summon spirits, um, and use destruction like this, and then you walk back a bit, and usually they should ball up nicely, but sometimes they don't. And yeah, just recast destruction and rupture soul and continue doing this, and the group will die eventually. See, there it is, just a few more. As you can see, the bladed ATEXs had a condition on them, that is blindness, so yeah, they can't kill EOE very fast. Sometimes they do get to hit it, and then it will die, but the chances of that is very low. So after this group is almost dead, you just cast this EOE again, and also the other spirits. Um, try to always start with destruction, so it starts to charge up. Yes, in that case it'll be stronger. Okay, you see this time they ball up quite nicely. There's only 2 out. Okay, after this group is dead, the LT should run into Veil and get all the aggro over there. You just have to wait until the path is clear and kill all the skeletons. In a moment you'll see which skeletons I'm talking about. So just continue this group. You want to walk back from time to time, because if you have aggro, they'll run into the spirits and they will get blocked and ball up nicely. Okay, just yeah. Once this group is almost dead, the LT is running in, like as you can see. Okay, so just make sure you're ready to move up. Oh, our LT is going to die, so we have to catch his aggro, because if the new souls get killed, on the world will fill, and we don't want that. So just try to recover from this. Actually, it's a good thing things didn't go according to plan, so I can show you what to do in case something like this happens. So yeah, you want to make sure the grass springs stay blinded, so just cast the spirit. It doesn't really matter which one, as long as you can cast the Rupture Soul on something. And yeah, as long as the grass springs are blinded, they're not much of a threat. But yeah, it can be hard on energy. Okay, so yeah, try to kill all the graspings. Just remember that if everything goes according to plan, stuff like this shouldn't happen. Okay, so just yeah, try to blind them like this. Don't try to aggro the skeletons like I do. I messed up at that, but yeah, didn't really mean to. Okay, so just yeah, just use spirits and yeah, rub your soul on stuff. Okay, so once the graspings are dead, it's usually fine because the emo won't get corrupted anymore, and yeah, that way he can just infuse everyone like this, and you can just focus on the skeletons. Okay, you want to avoid dying, even though you can be rest, because if you die, someone else has to rush you, and that takes time because yeah. They have to use a rest skill, and usually they have Flash of My Flash, and it will remove half of their health, and that's something you don't want to have while fighting skeletons. So yeah, just kill the skeletons, and then we can go on as normally. Okay, so once the LT is rest, he's gonna aggro the last couple of groups when he's ready. Okay, so he's going in now. Just prepare your spirits, and then yeah, something broke off, so we're just gonna kill it. Okay, so from this point on, it's just as normal. You just use destruction around here somewhere, so it starts charging, and yeah, just run into the terror riders and use summon spirits, and then rub your soul on destruction, so you get a strong spike. Um, if they use meteor shower, you wanna try to get your spirits out of the meteor shower, but sometimes they die too fast. But yeah, just try to keep them out. And also, you don't want to use EOE at this part because it's very likely gonna die, and you really want it for the next group. Okay, so yeah, once the riders are almost dead, you start casting EOE, and destruction is also nice, and then you just run in and spike the group like usual. Usually this shouldn't break off, but yeah, just ignore it and they'll die anyways. Okay, so now we have to start with the Veil quest. Just summon all your spirits, and then use summon spirits right at the part I'm using it, which is between the house and the little rock thing on the left, on the right side now, and then run back. The way you do this is you have to make sure they're not within spirit range. As you can see on my radar, they're just outside of spirit range, so I can have two sets of spirits. The spirits I summoned at the beginning are gonna attack the group ahead, so that group will die. The second and third group of that location will not attack. They just run around and do nothing. That way, the allied torture spirits will kill them off by themselves, and we can just completely ignore that group. If you use these tactics, you want to make sure you do not use summon spirits at all times, because if you use summon spirits, you will summon all your spirits within radar range, including ones that are far away. So at this part, you want to just use your summon spirit skills, and well, yeah, just don't use summon spirits. Okay. Okay, so once the groups are dead, another group will spawn, and there's 3 spawns on every location. So we're done at this group. Um, you see right here, they're not attacking, just running around, and we go around here. Um, at this point, you can use summon spirits. So just put spirits at this gate, and they'll just yeah, they just get stuck at it, even though you can just run through it, and they'll ball up nicely, and the spiker can spike them very well. And yeah, your destruction will also be more effective, and rupture shoal will also be very effective. Okay, just wait for until everything is dead, and then new groups will spawn. See, there's the first one, and if this one dies, there will be a second group. Try to refresh your spirits while the spiker is aggroing the other 2 groups. So as you can see, it's pulling the 2 groups to you, and then yeah, just continue spiking. You want to try to use the Rupture Soul on spirits that are about to die, or on spirits you are about to refresh. So yeah, for example, if you are going to use summon spirits, you could use a Rupture Soul on what's it called, Spirit of Suffering, for example, or Spirit of Hate. Yeah. But you don't want to spam it too much because it costs 10 energy, and yeah, that's a bit much if you're gonna spam it. Okay, so once this group is dead, you're gonna move on to the next group. So just let the spiker pull it towards you. Sometimes they don't want to go to the spirits that you summon. Instead, they go to the tortured spirits. When that happens, just put your spirits on them, and you can spike over there. But if you get aggro again, just go back to the gate and block them over there. Okay, so once these groups are dead, you kind of move on to this group. You see that our allied spirits almost finish off this group, so we can start on the last wave, which is nice. So we don't have to spend too much time on it. Using these tactics, we basically skip 2 of the 3 waves on this group. So yeah, that's really nice. So, yeah, just run around and put some spirits, and yeah, rub your soul on the spirits that are next to the torture spirit, and yeah, to deal damage. But at this part, the sparker usually deals the most damage. Okay, so once there's like only 1 left and it's almost dead, you can just move on to the last group, which is on top of the hill. When I go that way, I like to use my spirits around this area, and after that I just move on like this. Okay, so now we're gonna move on top of the hill. You wanna make sure you do not aggro the cold fires that patrol, so just avoid them. If you happen to aggro them, you can try to kill them, but whatever happens, you must not pull it to the Reaper, because the Reaper cannot handle it, and the Reaper will die, and then you'll feel underworld. That's something you don't want to happen. So once you get around here, what I like to do is I like to use my spirits at this location. That way they get stuck at it, and you can ensure they always ball up nicely, and then the spiker can kill the group. Okay, so that was the first group, and there comes the second. And yeah, it's pretty much the same now. Just refresh your spirits, and you just rub your soul in destruction when they're charged and when you have the energy. So yeah, that was my video on how to do SOS, and I hope you liked it. Yeah, at Doom it's pretty much the same. You just keep your spirits up, and yeah, if one dies, just refresh them. There's nothing special about that.